You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Universal Traction Systems, Vantage Point Marketing, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Chiro Thin, Dr. Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, and Everest Chiropractic Bootcamp. Let's hustle. Rolling. Hey guys, Jim Chester here. I have Hailey Jules over that way. I got it right today. She is in near Sequoia National Park out there in California, and I am coming in from Grand Junction, which is in the Grand Valley on the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say no one lives here, and I moved here to hear the birds chirp. So there you guys have it. Welcome to the show, Hailey.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, before we dive into the interview, I just want to say a big thank you to Legacy Wealth Management for sponsoring this episode of the Chiro Hustle Morning Edition. And if you want more information on them, I'm going to flash their website up here on the screen. It's legacywealthmg.com, and reach out to either Pete or Asen, and they'll help you out with all of your needs. But for now, we're going to focus on Hailey Jules, and we're going to talk to her about what she's doing in chiropractic, because I think, honestly, Hailey, us not being chiropractors, this is going to be a really fun episode, because I think that we both have some really unique opportunities that we get to do, and we have some really special space that we fill, but not about me. This is about you. So tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you're doing here in the chiropractic space.
Yes. So I'm a chiropractic patient, just like you, Jim. I know that's how we first bonded over our love for chiropractic, is we really started as patients and worked in practice as chiropractic assistants, and really fell in love with the profession and the freedom that chiropractic brings people. And you're right, it is really a unique perspective. I love that we're able to see it from the other side and bring in that fresh insight to these practices and help them grow. As far as what I do, my business is Inspired Practice Solutions, and I help practices really reach their vision from the inside out, where the team is building the practice and the team is really running the show so that the doctors can do what they do best.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And, everybody needs support. And that's the most critical thing, I think, in this whole thing, is to limit how we actually think about what we do a little bit, and think about how we can all contribute to each other. And I think that contribution is one of those things that you probably emphasize on with what you do. So I know that you were just over in Europe, and you were working with my good friend Travis Corcoran. Talk about the contribution that you're doing over there and how you're helping with his team.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, they are a fantastic team. And Travis, he's amazing and just has such a great big heart for chiropractic and to really create a massive impact in Europe as he's expanding and opening more and more practices. So what I did for them is I ran a full in-office immersion experience, and this is really what I specialize in. So the way it works is, first I met with the doctor, Dr. Travis, before I went in, and we went over exactly where his practices are now and where he wanted them to be by the end of the immersion experience, down to every little detail, everything he wanted the team to be trained on, everything he wanted them to improve on. And my real focus with these teams isn't about where they're at now, but where they're going. So we looked at, okay, where are you going to be in the next 5 years, the next 10 years? Let's get the systems running like a machine and raise up this team so they're going to be training other teams, and really raise them up to be prepared and work and act and move at the volume of where they're going, not where they're currently at. And then followed by that, once we both have a really clear vision of exactly where he's going and what he wanted to get out of the training, then I flew out there and went in and worked one-on-one with his team. And I have to say, he's quite the master influencer. I saw him at Chiro Sushi, and he came up to me after my talk and he said, what's it going to take to get you to come to Europe and come into my practices? And normally I might not be so excited for that far of a flight journeying out, but I loved how the way that he influenced, and I knew that he was committed Therefore, his team was going to get great results. Because when the doctor is really committed to the change and willing to do whatever it takes to transform, then I can really take your team anywhere. So when he said that to me, what's it going to take to get you to come out? I knew that this was a team that I could really help take things to the next level and help more people. So then I went in and I ran first I did a flow observation session at multiple locations at his practices where I go, and I actually watched the team in action. I watched them working with patients, watch the way they're communicating both verbally and non-verbally. How is what they're saying impacting the person in front of them? What's the patient's body language? How's the overall flow in the office? How is the front desk answering the phone and greeting people? How are they connecting? Are they building internal referrals? Are they creating lifetime patients? How powerful is their report of findings? All of these things. So I got to go in and really observe his different offices and see what could we fine tune here and make even better in the systems. And then I had the opportunity to work one-on-one with the entire team. We did a 15-hour training where we specifically trained on everything that Dr. Corcoran desired for us to train on, as well as some things that were added on from the flow observation session. And it's been so fantastic. It was less than 2 weeks ago. I got a message from him the Monday of one of the biggest outcomes that he wanted from the training was to increase internal referrals, because they've done an exceptional job with external marketing and external referrals, but the patients weren't referring. They had kind of slowed down on that. And so that's something we really focused on, is creating chiropractic leaders within the patient so that the patients are growing the practice. Because what I found is when you have patients referring, you really have a pre-qualified, pre-vetted patient, and the process is so much easier for the team and the doctor. We have someone that was referred in, and it's really the most efficient way to spend that new patient time slot. So that's something that we focus on a lot. And then I got a message from him the Monday morning after the training, and he said, first hour in Monday morning, we're already getting internal referrals and experiencing some really fantastic results. And the patients are signing up their friends and family. So it's really exciting to see, and such an honor and rewarding to be part of that.
Such a cool story. I think that honestly, the most valuable person in the world is the one with the best stories. So I'm glad that you had this opportunity to actually go over there and transfer value to other people and build your own legend for yourselves to where you get to live in your own best likeness. So cool for you, cool for them. I'm glad that he brought you on over there and you got a chance to see those results that you're already seeing churn. So that's really cool. A couple things that you said there made me want to touch a couple points with you. Is it's really cool that you get to go in and basically run efficiency modeling for communication, and then you also get a chance to audit from a distance and to see what's going on and give suggestions and fixes to holes in the system. I think that that's really cool. And I also think it's really cool. A lot of docs, they might not come off as the best in tone if they had that type of training with their staff. So it takes a lot of the heat off of the actual doc to actually implement these tips and strategies, because it looks like the team is winning rather than doc saying, do this. So I think it's a really cool strategy that you offer, because you do take the heat off of the doc to feel like they're the one that's dictating everybody's jobs, and say, hey, Hailey, why don't you say this, because they're going to receive it better from somebody from outside that knows their stuff.
It's funny you picked up on that, because that's one of the number one things I hear from my doctors post-immersion. They're like, I don't know how you did it. I've been trying to get my team to do this for 8 years. And they did it Monday morning. So it's so true to have that fresh perspective. And really, that's what I do and love to do. So it's wonderful to take that burden off of the doctors.
And, from me being over here, I see what the chiropractic space is comprised of. And I think it's a much needed spot there for somebody to actually have the system that can implement to multiple locations. And it's utilitarian and it's code, and it's utilitarian for the end user. And I think that that's something we have to be aware of in the chiropractic space, is finding things that don't niche us into one specific way of thinking. But I think that chiropractic success comes from a compromise of, resources. And I think that when you realize that this is what, like, for instance, I was having a conversation yesterday, Hailey, like Chiro Hustle is effective as a medium because we market around the medium that we produce.
Yeah.
And I think that what you do is effective because you market around the medium that you find to be effective for you.
Yes, I agree.
So I love what you do. So kudos to you for helping them.
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw a quick pattern interrupt out there. If people are watching this and you're finding value in this, please give us some thumbs up, give us some love. Comment if you have any questions for myself or Hailey. We'd love to be your value add today and give you some information. And I always like to say, please use us as your trusted resource for anything that we have to offer to you. But if you are finding value in this interview, please give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, comment, like, and share this. If you 3 people that are watching right now, go ahead and share this. Her information and Legacy Wealth Management's information and Chiro Hustle's information is going to hit your audience. So it's not only about, I think honestly, Hailey, a lot of people that are viewers are kind of selective and selfish on how they'll actually share. So I think that it's really cool to like see how people are in our tribe and they'll actually support each other. You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Close for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Universal Traction Systems, Vantage Point Marketing, Imaging Services, Zingit Solutions, Chiro Thin, Dr. Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, and Everest Chiropractic Bootcamp. Let's hustle.
Yes, absolutely. Well, can I offer some incentive for sharing?
Yes.
A key tip. So one of the things I'm really proud of my teams, the teams that I work with on a regular basis, they've consistently now, during the holiday seasons, their numbers have consistently gone up, which is something I'm so proud of the teams, because before, and we hear it all the time in chiropractic, that during the holidays, the numbers go down or stay the same, typically go down. So can I give your audience the tips and the way that I train my teams to do this?
Brilliant. Let's do it.
Yes. Okay. So here's the holiday tip to start right now, to start today in practice. And here's how it works. I like to train the patients to schedule their makeup visits before the holiday season. So you just start chatting with them now in the practice and asking them, what are their plans for the holidays? If they're going to be traveling, let them know, all of our patients are scheduling their makeup visits before their holiday. And did you know that an adjustment can boost your immune system by 200%? So this is going to help you boost your immune system so that you can really enjoy your holiday with your family and stay healthy on the journey. And so what my teams are doing is they're booking all the missed visits, right, that they're going to miss. They book it all in advance. The patients boost up their immune system, have a happy, healthy holiday, and then they're not playing catch up in January. So in January, it's a clean slate. It's beautiful. And it's so simple. It's so simple. Such an easy thing to do. And then, so that's one tip. I have five. I'll share 2 today, okay? Because I know we're jamming on time. The second tip is, this is such an amazing opportunity because people are in a state of contribution during the holidays. They're in a state of giving and contributing. So this is the absolute best time to book out all your new patient slots by just sharing with people, what if you could give someone the gift of health this week? And I have dozens of one-liners and ways that you can do this, and really sharing with them, who in your life deserves to be healthy. You've gotten great results here. Who in your life deserves to be healthy? Who do you want to give this gift to this holiday season? And so my teams, they've got their patients are purchasing day ones for their friends and their family. Some of them even have made, and I did this when I was working in practice, we'd make these little giveaway buckets with a gift certificate for day one and a massage and whatever else you offer in your clinic. And then they could purchase that at a discounted rate as a gift. So it is important to charge, in my opinion. I know a lot of teams will do free, like here's a coupon for a free day one, and it really devalues this service. So I do think it's important to charge, but you can highly discount that, or maybe give the patient that purchases, maybe they get a massage for the holiday season, or they get an adjustment or something special when they purchase for a friend. And then that way, what you can do is with all those Christmas gifts that are getting purchased, you keep track of it. And that's your January, February new patients are then going to be booked out with those Christmas gifts.
Yeah, I do think that during this time of the year, because I also have worked in an office, we have seen historic numbers kind of diminish towards the holiday season. People are traveling. It gets colder, days get shorter, and
Yes.
people, and you know, all those things they sound like is a huge megaphone of an excuse. But that's what people really rely on. Yeah, well, they rely on that because they're overworked, they're busy, they're thinking about travel, they're trying to think about what's happening with the kids, they're thinking about what's trying to happen with them, they're making sure their work functions get done, they're making sure that, you know, however they celebrate their holidays, that they're all kind of smooth moving. So I think that, yeah, giving people an incentive. I also like the idea possibly of doing a buy one, get one opportunity for a massage at an office. And then you can treat yourself. You can treat yourself as the purchaser, and then you can gift that to someone too. So there's cool ways to give back to your patient bases, like you said too. But the number one thing is the engagement. And, you know, to ask for referrals and to know that there is going to be a downstream. And honestly, there's less events that people get to do, like I like to do, but people get to do less marketing events in the cold seasons also. So that's a contributor to why some of these numbers might start to diminish as well for your patient shows.
Certainly. And it's so important for the patient to understand that their chiropractic care is the key to staying healthy and happy during the holiday season and relieving that stress from their body, because they're going to have increased stress during the holidays. I mean, statistics show that it happens. So this is the way to diminish that stress. And in fact, a lot of people may even come in extra during the holiday season to really, really just maintain their health and stress. I know I get adjusted more in November and December. Absolutely.
Well, we've become more sedentary too, I think, as a culture.
Yes.
And people are conditioned to the 70-degree temperature that they're supposed to be living in. So then when they temperature change between the conditions outside to back inside, the body is always in a state of change and flux. So the body is always adapting differently in the cold seasons as well. So it is important to keep more mobility in your spinal joints and to keep your nervous system at an optimum level.
Absolutely. And teams that are watching, write down what Jim just said, because that's the perfect way to say it to your patients right there. That was a perfect conversation to have with patients during the holiday season. I love the verbiage you used there.
Cool. Well, I know we're coming up on our time together. I wish we had more time to have conversation because there's still a couple questions I had for you. But as we're wrapping up 2018 and rolling into 2019, what are your plans for the rest of this year? And what are you focusing on early on in 2019, quick?
Yes, absolutely. So the rest of this year, I have quite a few more in-office immersion experiences that I will be providing for some offices. I know I have a few on the East Coast, which is risky in the wintertime to go to the East Coast. And then I am running the breakouts. Well, they were called breakout sessions, and I changed the name to team breakthrough sessions. So I'm running those for an elite coaching boot camp in December.
Love those guys.
Me too. To help those teams transform. And then next year, the plan is, the beginning of the year, everyone wants to start strong. So next year is booking up really quickly. It's a great time to start these in-office immersions at the beginning of the year. So to your audience out there, if anyone has any questions, I'd love to answer your questions and be there for you to really support you in meeting your goals in 2019. So the beginning of the year is packed with that. A lot of other great seminars. We have Chiro Rocks coming up. I'll be speaking there. And then I'd like to return to Sushi, Mile High, all of these great places that I got to go to this year. So the plan for 2019 will be really raising up an army. I'll be hiring more people so that we can really continue to impact on a global scale and run these in-office immersions for every single practice so they can completely transform.
That is so cool. I'm really excited for you. I know that you're on the chiropractic circuit now, so it's really cool seeing you involved with Chiropractic Rocks. And it's nice to see that you're touching more lives with the work that you do. So I just want to say a big kudos to you and thank you for spending some time with me today and letting people know how to get out of the sedentary systems around the holidays too, and how to put better marketing strategies around your clinic to where you don't have that slump during the holidays and the New Year. So I just want to say one more quick thank you to Legacy Wealth Management, Pete and Asen for sponsoring this episode of the Chiro Hustle Morning Edition. And I want to thank Hailey for being my guest today. And one more time, if people wanted to reach out to you, how do they do that?
They can reach out to me on my website, inspiredpracticesolutions.com, or Facebook too. If you want to put my link down there, a lot of times I get Facebook messages from docs to set up their immersion. So that's a great way. I know it's easy for everybody.
Awesome. Well, okay.
I'll be posting a video today too about more holiday tips. So I'll post that video for the audience.
So yeah, guys, if you are not following Hailey Jules, find her on Facebook and ask for her, follow her or friend her, and send her a message if you would like to link up with her for her services. If you guys are watching this on replay, we really value you. So if you have any comments for us, just please put those into the comment section. And if you are watching us on replay, hashtag replay, so we know that you are participating with us when we were not live. So thank you, Hailey. Thank you, Pete and Asen, for sponsoring us today with Legacy Wealth Management. If you guys have wealth management needs, reach out to those two guys and they'll be sure to help you out. And is it okay if I close out now?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jim, for everything you do for chiropractic.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I likewise appreciation. And you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. Thank you, Hailey. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.